The new 1.21 Tricky Trials update is out today. It has loads and loads of new features, and I'm going to be reacting to every single one of them. This video is about IBX Toycat. He makes a lot of great videos. I used to watch his update videos so much. It's all 128 features that have been added to the new update. Let's check it out.
Chiseled copper is our first brand new feature.
That's
and
a new block.
Crafted by using 2 cut copper slabs. This will make a
Ooh, it's in an auto crafter as well.
And it is
a new side feature.
Decorative, but because it's made of copper, it will slowly expose.
I guess so. It's 4 new blocks technically, isn't it? Yeah.
Creating 4 separate variants of it.
That's cool.
Then we have the copper bulb, a brand new copper block that
copper bulb is very useful.
World. When you give it a redstone charge, it will turn on, and unlike a redstone lamp, which sounds awfully similar, it will hold that charge until you next press the button to turn it off. This is a very cool thing in my opinion, and
it's basically like a compact T flip-flop. That's what I'm trying. T flip-flop. So it's like so useful for redstone. I think it's a very cool addition.
It's a really great new light source just by itself, but to
I like the fact that the weathered versions kind of look rusty as well.
It requires 3 separate copper blocks, as well as a blaze rod, as well as
that is an expensive recipe, isn't it?
You do get 4 in exchange, so it's not
okay. You get 4
bad,
back. Yeah, it's
but
not
going
too bad.
to the Nether is a requirement for making these yourself if you're not just going to mine them, and also keep in mind that as it slowly weathers, it will get slightly less.
So you can't actually craft these in peaceful mode, can you?
Because you need blaze rods. Copper bulb is the one you probably want most of the time outside of thematic builds. Then we have the copper grate. This is another decorative block.
Love the copper grate.
Functions kind of transparently.
I don't know why.
It's crafted like so. 4 separate copper blocks will give you 4 separate copper grates, which makes it kind of expensive to craft just by itself. I would recommend using a stone cutter for this one. But yeah.
Side point, yeah, if you use a stone cutter to get copper grates, I think for 1 copper block you get 4 copper grates instead of 4 copper blocks equaling 4 copper grates. It's great because I think it's pretty much just like glass lets light through. I really like this feature for some reason. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do.
Variants, it goes exposed, weathered, and then oxidized. The same is true for the copper trapdoor and the copper regular door.
They are cool. Like so. They're easy to craft, easy to remember. Just like the wood variants, really.
Trapdoors. That is fairly stingy, you might say, but at the same time, it used to be 6 copper blocks, so I think it could be a lot worse. And then we have the copper door, which
copper ingots
is
are easy to get anyway.
Vertical. And
especially if you go to a trial chambers, mine up all of the copper blocks. You can literally get so much copper ridiculously fast because you can craft it back into ingots. So I have no problems with that.
Why is it that you get 3 doors when they're much bigger and only 2 trapdoors when they're much smaller?
That's an excellent
question.
It's
a question that no one knows the answer to. But keep in mind, these doors function like any other wooden doors in Minecraft. It's not iron, so it doesn't need to be powered.
Okay,
and
you can just use,
you
can just open them easily.
There's no relation to the key here. You just open and close however and whatever you want. And obviously, they come in 4 separate variants. So now you might be wondering why I said 40 blocks at the very beginning, and that's because every single one of these blocks has a second variant, and this is the waxed version. So if you place honeycomb on...
Let's be honest, is that stretching it out? He says that they've added 20 new blocks. In a way, they've added 40 because you can have the waxed variants of each one. Well, you know what? I'll let him off. I'll let you off, Mr. Toycat.
Before, it will become a waxed chiseled copper or a waxed exposed copper bulb. And so this is especially handy for the copper bulb to make sure it always stays bright.
Yeah, because the copper bulb changes its light level the more weathered it gets. So you want it to be in its main state generally.
Waxed and unwaxed, but Minecraft counts them that way, and so do we. So with that said, next we have tuff blocks.
Okay, the tuff blocks
is currently just
there won't be any waxed versions of those.
You can't even make stairs until 1.21 has changed that all. So this is tuff stairs. This is the tuff slab. This is the tuff wall.
They look quite good, don't they?
But then they're crafted as you would expect. But then we've got polished tuff, which is made from 4 tuff together, so it's no actual extra cost.
You know, the day they realized that they can make polished versions of blocks, I bet they were like, why, we've literally just doubled the amount of blocks. Like, you know, like they add andesite, and then they were like polished andesite, and then we can do so much more. So I think it's a pretty cool addition. Same with the tuff, makes sense, doesn't it?
Creates 4 polished tuff, and then you get slightly prettier stairs and slabs and walls. Or you can take 4 of those polished tuff and combine those together, and you'll get some tuff bricks. And this is, in my opinion, the best block of the set. And I think this is just my opinion. Minecraft clearly shares it, as you'll see in a future feature.
It gives it that nice medievally look.
We can make this into slabs, walls, and stairs.
Goes well, really, with the deep slate bricks behind as well.
Blocks by taking 2 separate slabs of that.
I think you can make all these in the stone cutter pretty easily as well. Look at the chiseled tuff
by using regular tuff slabs. These cannot be made into stairs, slabs, and walls, but they are very unique.
I really like the fact that he's using the auto crafter to show the recipes because it remembers the blocks. I think that's such a cool idea.
And I love having a brand new chisel block that seems to represent another one of Minecraft's big, almost boss-like foes. And so with that said, that's 53 separate features just in new blocks, which I think a lot of people would cynically say say, like, well, it's great to have new tuff and copper blocks, but what if you don't care? And the
Yeah,
answer
like
is
me,
you
I
get
don't really care
lots
about
of
new
stuff
tuff
for
and
you.
copper.
So the Trial Explorer
Okay,
map
Trial
is
Explorer
a fun
map, yes.
new item that you can find. So I'm going to have to trade with the villager first. It's going to cost me 12 emeralds. And wait, what just happened to my emerald? Did it?
Well,
Did it
where
get
is his
stuck in
emerald?
whatever this is? Anyway,
That's on
so
Amazon.
you get 12 emeralds, and we can use these 12 emeralds plus our, obviously our compass, and we can find a Trial Explorer map. This Trial Explorer map will tell me exactly where I have to go to find my next
Yeah,
trial
you can
chamber.
see. Which makes
This
it
is
so
a
much easier to find these. They should make an
handy
ancient city
item
version of this,
because
shouldn't
trial
they? That'd be
chambers
really
are
cool.
quite well hidden below
Yeah,
ground.
that's actually a great idea. Why don't they add it so that cartographers can get you ancient city maps? Or they should make it so there's some other way to get ancient city maps, because they're also kind of annoying to find. Like, they're easy to find because you know search in one of the mountainous biomes. But it would still be cool if it was
are a
had maps.
whole feature in their own right, and you'll notice they use all of these brand new copper blocks, copper bulbs, and chiseled copper, and copper grates, but
They look
also
good, don't
a
they?
lot of tough bricks, which is the proof that they're clearly the best of the entire set. But yeah, you can find trial chambers all over your Minecraft world now. This is one of the biggest structures, and honestly,
I
it
think
feels
trial
rude
chambers
to
are kinda
say
common
that
as
all of
well,
that
from my
counts as
experience.
53 features. Well, this counts as just one, but this is just measuring it how it is. There is one brand new structure that contains some stuff inside of it, but by itself, it is one feature. It's just the biggest feature they've added in a long time, so big that it gets the titular naming. It is the Tricky Trials update after all.
It's literally
with
the
trials,
entire update
being
is
named
pretty
after
much
the
the trial
spawners,
chambers, isn't it?
something you'll find inside of it. We've deactivated this one as it will do for 30 minutes after you take one down, but when you go near an active trial spawner, a bunch of mobs will spawn and you need to kill them all. Once you do so, you'll get rewarded, and some of those rewards include the trial key. This is
Trial
about
key.
a 30%
That is a cool
chance
feature.
every time you take
I'll be
one
honest,
down.
the whole idea of the trial key and the trial, like the vault, which is coming up, such a cool idea. It's going to be great for maps, and it's so cool for multiplayer servers that if something gets looted, someone else can go and loot it as well. I think that is cool.
You might also get food or other things that will help you out, though. This is basically the mini-boss of 1.21. Taking down trial spawners is a lot of fun, and I would totally recommend that you go in and try it, even if you're
fun.
not
I
necessarily
don't think it's hard
a
enough,
PvP
but it is
person.
fun.
Number 57 is the Bogged. There are two brand new mobs in this update. One of these is a Bog. I'm going to have to get out my sword before we do this. One of these is the Bogged. This is a brand new skeleton
there it
variant,
is.
and
I
really
love that.
what they've done with this,
He's in a
because
little cage.
unlike previous skeleton and mob variants, where it's just, oh, it's a zombie, but he looks different and he has a slightly different effect. No, this is actually a different mob, because if he attacks you, he has a much slower cooldown to account for the fact that he actually will shoot poison arrows at you. So Bogs can be found in the trial chambers.
Yeah, they
This is
slightly behave
probably
differently,
the more
yeah.
natural place for them, in my mind at least, but they do technically spawn in the swamp, and so if you're in a swamp, you will find Bogs, just like how you currently find the version of it in
Yeah,
the
but
snowy
from my
biome.
experience playing it, checking out the update, not every single like skeleton in the swamp is a bogged, if that makes sense. Like, there seems to be normal ones as well.
A similar version of the Stray, but for the swamp, and I think that's kind of fun. Also, there is obviously the Bogged Spawn Egg, a brand new item we have to mention, which is why the Breeze counts as 2 items.
Hold on a second. There's another secret feature with the bogged, which he didn't mention. I'm going to show you. If you use shears on a bogged, he'll drop his mushrooms. Yep, I could show you that again in action. You could shear off both the mushrooms. So yeah, now he's got nothing on his head. A normal one, yeah, you've got some mushrooms on there, and then we could just go ahead and take them off. Let's continue to the Breeze.
Spawn egg, and then the Breeze himself. The Breeze obviously shoots out these big wind charges at you and drops Breeze rods, which are fun. They look like blaze
The Breeze
rods,
don't
but
do a
they're
lot of
used
damage,
for
really,
other
do they?
unique
But
things.
they're
Really,
very
really fun
annoying.
unique things. Then we've got number 61, the Breeze rod, which is great by itself and can be crafted into things like the wind charges.
I love the
So
wind charges, by
are
the way,
found
guys.
enough
The more
by
I use the
themselves
wind
in
charges,
trial
the more I love
but
them.
if you want to, you can just at any time turn your Breeze rod into a wind charge. Or
Yeah,
4
one
of them,
Breeze
in
rod is
fact,
4 wind
and these
charges. That's cool.
charges can be used for all sorts of fun.
Kind of makes it so that a wind, like a breeze farm, is kind of useful, because the breeze rods are not just used for, oh, we'll craft the mace once. No, you could use them for all those wind charges, which is cool.
Interesting is the redstone effect. So this means that this will happen with breezes too. The reason there are so many redstone components in the trial chambers is because they will trigger and they will make
That's
your
cool.
your
You can
beautiful
use them to
message into
activate redstone,
something
innit?
a lot less beautiful. Is this a savannah
So do you think
tree?
that you could like move redstone over a long distance, because you could use a dispenser to shoot out a wind charge? I'm assuming that works. Hold on. One should never assume. Let's test it out. So we go ahead and... Oh, yes, look at it go, and it goes miles. So you could shoot a redstone signal from here all the way to a button over there to, like, do a long-distance redstone without having to put a redstone line down. So that's cool. It can actually do that. I like the idea of that. Now back to the redstone idea.
Now, and and a Tetris block on the floor there. It's hard to work out what it is because all of the buttons have been undone. Anyway, we can also do this with doors, for example.
Yeah,
and
that's
so if
cool.
you ever want to open a door in the most
I think it's
unique
great
way
for
possible,
opening, like,
you know this
activating
is the way
traps
you've
and
got to do
stuff.
it. And so, yeah,
Because I think you can do it through a block as well. I think it's a cool idea. Hold on, I want to test something else. So I'm pretty sure if you have a load of trapdoors underneath and you use a wind charge at the ground, it does activate them through the block. Okay. But what if it's TNT? What if you throw a wind charge at TNT? Will it then activate it? So we do that. And no. Okay, nothing seems to happen with that. What if you throw it directly? No. Okay, doesn't activate it. I'm sure someone will work out how to do it. I'll not worry about it.
Great item. Otherwise, let me show you why that is right after I show you some other features. There are
new features.
pottery shards. You can use
3 new
these to
ones.
make pots like you could in 1.20. I like the designs, especially of this one. There are obviously 2 brand new banner patterns.
Yep.
And there are also
new banners,
vaults.
new pottery.
These
the
vaults
vaults,
will
yes.
take your keys and spit out goodies in exchange for them. The vaults can only
I found the loot
used
from the vaults
once
not being
per world,
amazing.
though.
I think the
Seriously,
ominous vaults are
every
10
single
times
time
better,
you load up a
which
Minecraft
makes
world,
sense.
vaults will generate, and every player is only able to use them once. If you want to use them again, you have to get someone else into your world, and that's something really important you'll want to know. Speaking of important things you want to know,
One use
there's
per
also
player.
these brand new armor trims. I kind of like them, but I could understand why not everyone would say this is the best set.
I get that they're cool.
For a trim,
I will be sticking with silence. I still think that is the best set, but I do think they are kind of cool.
your
I might
armor.
wear it in my
I think this
hardcore
is
world
great
for a
way
few
of saying
episodes.
that
The
you
new one.
like the trials. It'll make you look like a monster from them too, which is kind of fun. But speaking of looking like a monster, let's use the wind charge and let's jump over these hills. Look at this, by the way. Look how high we're jumping just with a small jump. If we were to crouch and then do it first, we could even go higher than that.
You
But
see,
yeah,
he's doing
basically
it-
this is a new thing.
He's not doing it as well as you can do. Let me show you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to place down 10 blocks, and then if you, like, jump at the exact same time. Look at that. We did 8 blocks there. And I think if you just time it perfectly, I think you can get 10 blocks up. Yeah, look at that. We even got, I reckon you can go 11 blocks if you do it right. Literally want to just press jump and wind burst at the same time, and you can get really, really high if you do it correctly. Anyway,
Also
the ominous
choose to get
bottles. That's
ominous
next.
bottles. So this ominous bottle is found by this guy. This is a pillager captain, or bad guy, if you will. They
Yeah,
spawn
bad guy,
around your
take him
Minecraft
out.
world,
That's
also
so
in
much better
pillager
than
towers,
automatically
and they'll
getting
give
the
you
effect,
bad
isn't it?
omen
I
bottles.
really prefer
These
that.
bad omen bottles can also be found in the trial vaults themselves, which is handy. And
Yeah,
so
you can
if
actually get them
drink a
without
bad
needing a
omen-
pillager. You can literally just go to in a vault and just get it out and then be like, okay, I'll do an ominous trial now. Very, very handy indeed.
bottle, what happens? Well, there's 2 things that can happen. One of these is you can drink it in a village, and this will give you the raid omen status effect. This functions exactly how a raid does. In fact, let me just quickly step in, and you'll see that my bad omen effect is going to become the raid omen effect. So it looks a lot like the old bad omen, and you have 30 seconds to get out of there. Just a warning, should probably do that. This is a very important feature, and it's a really cool change to the bad omen effect. You might be saying how and why, and it's because the fact that bad omens are optional.
So you
they're
can
really
cancel
savable till later,
the raid if you
or
get out of
can
there in
use
time,
these
or
ominous
drink milk, I
bottles
think,
to make
within
the
30
trial
seconds.
omen status effect. This trial omen will lead to an ominous trial spawner. It is a new variant of the trial spawner, which
It's
will
so
give
much
you
better, by the way,
more
is the
valuable
ominous one.
things. Wow, is this a brand new type
I
of...
personally feel like you shouldn't even... Obviously, at first, you will bother with the normal trial spawners and trial vaults. I think eventually, you just cut out the trial spawn. You just only do ominous, because the loot is so much better and makes it actually worthwhile. Normal one's not as useful, I think. So I think I'll just only do ominous trials eventually.
key. But yeah, this is the entire drop table for
Look at
it.
that.
I think
Heavy
you get
core,
a lot of
notch
diamonds for it in
apples,
the very minimum,
diamonds,
but also you'll
golden
find
apples,
the mace
books,
enchantments,
you
you'll
can
find
get
rare
armor,
enchanted books
yeah,
in
you can
general,
get so
you'll
much
find
good stuff.
enchanted axes and armor, and I think it's just a very valuable thing
It is
to
very
go
cool to
for,
see all the
even
loot
if you
there.
don't get the mace, which is, if we're being honest, what we're all looking for from it. Speaking of things we're looking for, let's talk about the new status effects.
Yeah, we haven't even got to the mace
This is
yet.
another kind of controversial one for the counting, but again, this is the consistent methodology we use for every single update, and it tends to be that when because when you get a brand new potion,
Why are there armadillos
obviously
in
you
there?
get a splash and a lingering version of that potion and an arrow of it. So it means that we have 4 brand new status effects, 4 brand new potions that you can choose to brew. But that
I think the
actually
new potions
creates
are pretty cool,
16
actually.
brand new features. But I don't think these are going to be heavily used. Unlike I think the ominous trial spawner is an incredible thing you're going to want to come back to time and time again. You'll want to find ominous bottles to make these because you want these keys so damn bad. But these brand new status effects are mostly fairly negative. So there is the wind charging potion, which is made by brewing with a
You're not gonna
grease
kill-
rod.
No,
This will
Toy
give
Cat.
effects that when
Don't
an
kill
animal
the
dies,
armadillos.
when a mob
Why are you
dies,
doing
I
this?
should say, it will actually cause them to create wind charges.
That is cool,
I think
though.
it's a lot of fun, personally.
It's
that is a
useful
bunch
because it
of
makes
armadillos with
the
an
ominous
charging effect
trials
now.
a little bit
very silly
more
little
interesting,
concept.
chaotic.
Then there is the oozing effect. The oozing effect will allow a mob to spawn slimes after it dies.
So the mob you take out has to have the effect. In the ominous trials, they automatically spawn like lingering potions with these effects everywhere. So the mobs will get these effects. Then you take them out and you've got silverfish spawning, you've got slime spawning, you've got cobwebs, you've got the windburst. It just makes it a bit more chaotic. That's what I've noticed. So you see
Again,
here,
mostly a negative
they
for
have
the player,
the oozing
use this to
effect
farm,
and slimes
so,
are now
It's
spawning.
one that you will want to set up at some point. Infested will cause a mob every time it takes damage to have a 10 to 20% chance of spawning a silverfish. Very, very wild one. But
Oh, 10 to 20%. Okay, I thought it was guaranteed.
Anyway, by the way, armadillos are a part of a previous
Oh, I think
update.
it's every time they take. Yeah, it's every time they take damage, not every time you take them out. Okay,
Not
good,
part
good.
of 1.21. And then we've got weaving. Weaving is made with the cobwebs, and this will lead to a potion which will cause an enemy, when it takes damage, to spawn cobwebs in the world.
I think
This
that is
makes
cool as well.
cobwebs renewable, which is great. This makes silverfish spawn, which can then be used with oozing to spawn a lot of slimes, because you can have silverfish spawn, then give those the oozing effect to turn them into slimes, which then creates a lot of slime balls and a lot of experience. And this potion is for, I don't know, like if you're playing PvP and you want to have like a, a grenade drop after you die. It's basically the same, but with a wind charge.
So the interesting thing is, he was saying there, you can make cobweb farms now if you use the weaving effect on some mobs. Take them out, you got a cobweb farm. You can make new slime farms if you make slime spawn, take them out. So that's like 2 new farms that are pretty useful, and I think it is faster than the old slime farms from what I know anyway.
That is a whole 20 features listed right there. The effects themselves, and the 4 separate ways to have it. Each of those 4 ways
it really
is
stretches out these
consistent across 4
features,
potions.
doesn't it?
And realistically, the way you'll encounter these most for the standard Minecraft player who's not getting too technical is in the Trials Chambers. When you encounter an ominous Trial spawner, it will sometimes
this is what I
fire
was
these
saying
effects
before.
at you. And so if you can deal with a ominous Trial spawner, you'll get an ominous Trial key about 30% of the time, and you can use these to unlock an ominous vault. An ominous vault has a lot of things you can get from it, but the biggest and most important for many is the heavy core. The heavy core is a brand new
good
item
old
that
heavy
does
core. I like that
precisely
you can
one
place
thing
it
at present, and that is to create the mace.
Yes, the
I shouldn't
mace.
have yelled it, but it's in caps. What can you do? It's the only way to read that out. So the mace, I had nothing I could do about this. I certainly couldn't have not written that in uppercase or changed it in any way. But yeah, with that said, it is worth mentioning that the mace is a brand new weapon and the most powerful weapon Minecraft has added. It is
true, it is very,
changes,
very powerful,
some
isn't it?
controversies about
I look
how
forward to
and why
using
and all that
it
stuff.
in Friend
But
Offo.
this is a weapon which you can find in this update that will deal up to an infinite amount of damage. To show you that, let me go right here and let's go to the very top of the world and show you something fun. I'm not going to get this on my first hit, but brace for the mace, because if I can hit this warden on the ground... So yeah, this is something I said. This is one of the hardest things to do. People complained about the mace all day, and maybe you watching this video saying, wait,
It's not easy, yeah, and the thing is, if you get it wrong, unless you have a totem, you're either going to pop a totem or die if you don't land the hit to take something out that's got
infinite
that much
damage,
health.
that's crazy. But basically, as you fall, the mace will give you more and more damage. As you
I mean, he's playing this on Bedrock. I think on Java it is easier than it is with a
up
controller.
momentum on the way down, every additional block fallen adds more damage to the mace. This is increased further with enchantments if you want it to be, but even by itself,
Yeah,
this
there are
means by
enchants to it as well.
From 300, this lovely tower that you might have spotted earlier, if we fall from this down onto the warden, as you can see, we can kill him
It's so
in
cool.
just a
It is
single
cool.
hit. I'm impressed we got that.
It
on the
looks
second go,
satisfying
though.
even to
It
watch,
takes a
but it's
lot
satisfying
of
to do as
skill
well,
to
isn't it?
actually master landing perfectly on something, and you need to know exactly where your target is. So if you think it's OP, then I don't know. I feel like it's actually fairly muted in the grand scheme of things, but what isn't muted are the density enchantments. This increases the damage that you will do when falling down onto a mob. Then we've got the breach enchantment.
So density makes you do more damage, yeah.
Breach will allow you to decrease the amount of armor that an enemy has effectively. Your effectiveness against them goes from 15 up to 60% with Breach 4, which means that
That's
Breach
interesting.
4 is a better way
Armor
to kill
becomes
a Netherite
not as
armor
powerful.
foe than a Sharpness 5 Netherite sword, even if you don't account for the fact that the mace can obviously do its big mace attacks. And then we've got the Windburst enchantment.
It's gonna be-
The
it's
Windburst
gonna change up
enchantment is
PvP a lot,
really,
isn't it?
really interesting one, because
that's
when you
cool.
attack something with Windburst, you will launch yourself sky high, and this sounds like a fun thing by itself, but it has the downside of when you come down,
will take full
not
damage.
be protected from full damage. When you use a wind charge, you are When you use a wind charge, you are. What did I just do with that?
Where is he going?
I have no idea what I have done.
I don't think
when
there's a
you
warden
use
here.
Wind burst, as I will show right now on a villager. Hopefully. Okay, this is... Yeah, using Wind Burst will allow you to launch yourself into the sky, but you won't be protected from the falls that come as a result. So let's go. There we go.
Okay, it's not a
As
massive
see,
boost. It's not like relative to how far you fall then, is it?
Damage, and this is something that Minecraft are looking to buff, not the damage.
Oh.
5.5 hearts off damage, and this is something that
you will
Minecraft
take...
are looking to
yeah.
buff. Not
But you
the
can
damage taken, but
MLG
the height
afterwards, can't
increase,
you?
which means therefore the damage taken. Very, very wild. It's the wildest card enchantment of the three, but it is something you'll need to keep in mind.
I'm pretty sure you can't have all three on. I think Windburst... Let me just double check. But I think Windburst and Breach are exclusive of each other. Okay, so you can't put Breach and Density onto it. Density will make it so that you increase your damage as you fall, but Breach will mean that armor is less good. It's a shame you can't put them together. Then it would be insane. If there's a glitched way to put them together, I'd be doing it because that would be such a powerful mace. But Windburst, definitely you add that on as well. That's pretty cool.
The Wind
And now we're on to the Crafter.
The hardest to get enchantment, but also the hardest to use. The easiest one to die using, and so I think it's the one I'll be using in survival, but only with wind charges, feather falling, and probably also an Elytra. But we'll see how that one goes in practice.
Here we go.
Next up, we have the crafting, and
Wait till he
probably
talks about the
also an Elytra. But we'll see how that one goes in practice. Next up,
And
we
now
have
for the Crafter. This is something that a lot of players were very excited about. They were excited about more features like the Crafter being added, and then they just never did.
A crafting table and a dropper, and 2 pieces of redstone
It's
to
a
be
pretty
crafted.
cool thing, isn't it?
What is happening in there?
Are they all getting attacked?
You know, I'm glad these guys... I think these guys have done something bad, by the way. They're standing looking elsewhere at the door. Anyway, so it's important to note that while we're here, there is a very fun thing that the Crafter does, and it's the ability to take the things inside of it and craft them when it's given a redstone charge. So if we have these items inside, like we do right here, we can use it to have the Crafter spit out a mace.
It is really, really helpful. It's going to be so good for compacting farms.
So yeah, the Crafter
and
is
just
a very
automating so much stuff. I'm really looking forward to it.
Mostly for making farms. I think if you have a farm that has components that you want to have crafted down, you can do that automatically, and that's great. I think I
want to make
the
so
other
many
uses
farms.
For it are a little bit more.
And it's just like, you think of something like pistons, they're just annoying to craft. Droppers, observers, like they're just annoying things to craft. When you need, like, let's say I need an entire shulker, but I need like 2,000 pistons. I don't want to have to craft all of them by hand. Well, now you can just let the Crafter do it, and I'll just have a great supply. I can't wait. I cannot wait to use them in my hardcore world, guys. I really can't.
Do a lot of AFK farming, and so something I like a lot more are the new music discs. So there's free music discs.
I'm less bothered about the new music discs, but they are a cool thing to have.
Which will sound something like this.
Let's
I'm
listen to it.
going to be talking over it, and I'm aware of that. Don't worry, but it's beautiful. I like it.
It's very ominous, isn't it?
Who wouldn't?
For an ominous vault.
It's a very short version of Creator, which is one of the other 2 songs you can get. Precipice, and so Creator sounds like this. It is, I think, the fan favorite of the free discs. Tell me what you think. Sounds like the music box version, but get this right. It changes after a few seconds.
Is it going to get better? Here we go. Ooh. That's got beat, you know. Okay, I'm not sure about that bit added to it, but... It's not pig step, is it? Let's be honest. Even Other Side, I think I preferred Other Side as well. Like, it's an interesting song. It's just not like the kind of song I'd vibe to, you know? It's a little bit like... I want to say it's not derpy, but you know what I mean? Yeah, it's all right. Anyway, we're not going to listen to that all day.
So my initial thoughts were that I really like Precipice a little bit more.
Let's listen
to
Precipice
then. Aaron Sharop. So most of the Minecraft music post C418 has been made by Lena Rain, and both of these discs were, but this one is made by Aaron Sharop instead. And I think the biggest critique people give this is it's not very Minecrafty, but I would say it's so great otherwise. So me and the villagers will listen to this now.
Yeah, I guess it isn't that Minecrafty, but neither is Pig Step and really Another Side, I wouldn't say. I mean, this has a bit more beat to it, doesn't it? But again, I don't know why it's like got bells ringing in it. Feels like, yeah, it's all right. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Let's check out. Oh wait, Oh, it adds that in. That's kind of cool.
And
yeah,
I think
it is.
these three are all worth getting. But yeah, you will get them from the trial.
Out of all of them,
them
probably
the
Precipice is my favorite as well, like, I guess.
Ominous Vaults, and you'll want to go and get them. At least I'll want to go get them. I think this is a cool new collectible item and a cool new piece of customization, which also informs what Minecraft have done with 107 and 108 here, the new panorama and
they did add a new panorama.
When you go to the Minecraft menu screen,
I mean, I noticed Bedrock
like
is the same panorama as on Java as well.
Every update, there is a brand new one of these, which I think is pretty great. Honestly, every now and then I'm reminded.
I'm glad that they changed them now. They didn't
like,
used to change them forever, did they?
1.14? Do you remember 1.17? Anyway, the point here is to say that there are also new music tracks which will play over this new panorama, but also in the game itself. And
see,
so now
I never play Minecraft with the music on because when I'm recording, I don't want the music playing, and then because I have my own music in the background. But it is cool to have music, like the new music, if you're just kind of playing and vibing. The old music by old C418. Very nostalgic for me if I ever hear that, and I'm like, this reminds me of when I used to play Minecraft right back in 2014 is when I really mainly played Minecraft started to say.
20 new paintings to show off.
Lots of
as we go
survival
through this gallery, let's talk about some of the other major minor features in this update. So yeah, obviously we've got paintings which will get bigger as we go through because I think meditative is nice. It's a reference to the poppy.
Yeah,
Humble
all these new
nice.
paintings they added.
Gothic, and, you know,
which is cool that they've added a load of new
paintings.
paintings.
What I prefer more is the fact
I think that they should add it so that you can select what painting you put down now. Because you still have to, like, place it and then keep placing it until you get the one you want. I think selecting them would be a cool feature.
TNT explosions now have a 100% drop rate.
Okay, so this is a new Bedrock. If you're a Bedrock player, then that's good for you. TNT now drops all of the things. This is already a Java thing.
Really great, personally. They have also made it so you can stand on boats while in water.
Oh, they've added an oxygen meter.
Really great, personally.
Oh, okay, so like the little dots behind, that's only on Bedrock, not on Java.
They have also...
I don't think it is. Let me check. Into survival, and yeah, the bubbles just completely disappear on here. But on Bedrock, they kind of show little black dots of where they used to be.
Made it so you can stand on boats while in water. Mobs will spawn on the center of blocks rather than the corner. This will mess up farms, by the way. Keep that in mind. A lot of farms rely on them spawning on the corner.
Oh dear.
So
a lot of Bedrock farms will be messed up.
By the way, tides is nice. So too is some.
I like the fact that they're like he's showing the little changes, but he's showing the paintings at the same time.
Referencing and Fern.
Wait.
And yes, so too is the end boss. Wow.
The end boss. That's the name of a painting.
I wonder what that could be referenced.
The next update's got to be the end update on it. They're going to do the end update. Surely. Please do the end update next.
And
the hype will be insane.
And yeah, all of these paintings will be found in the natural rotation in the same way every other painting is found. Speaking of every other painting, the fact that cobwebs will have new sound effects.
Okay. Anybody care about cobwebs having new sound effects? Yeah, that's on Java as well. You can now see every coloured particle that you have when you have effects.
Grindstones can be made with stone slabs. Rip super flat survival. This is true. If you had a flat world survival, you can no longer cheese your way into getting a grindstone villager. Speaking of cheesing my way into something,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Khotan, 118. Here is Owl Lemons.
That's a very strange
117.
one. Is it a monkey
I like
or something?
this one a lot. Who wouldn't love this one?
Look at his eyes.
Then we've got Cave Bird over here, and then we've got over here Bouquet, as well as of course Backyard and Pond. And the final feature is 4 brand new ambient.
Okay, let's listen to the ambient sounds. Okay, kind of creepy. Imagine just being in a cave and just hear that going off. And it's your first time playing Minecraft. You'd be like, what's coming out? What's coming out? I'll be honest, cool enough, but not too bad.
It is true that there are 20 new paintings, and so we add each of them to the featured count, which means that by the time we get to the end here, we have 120.
The best one, by the way, is the pack.png painting over there. All right, they added it. I think as a nod to the fact that they found the seed from where it was from. I think it's a cool addition.
We'll just go in there. There's nothing we could have done about that. No mistake being made here.
Why did they put the wrong number?
But anyway, as you can see, Unpacked is a beautiful reference to pack.png, and I love that Minecraft are doing this with their paintings. A lot of the paintings previously were references to art, but these ones were made by Christopher Zetterstrand, the artist who made the original paintings. But
really, the same artist made them. That's cool.
In there too, but also
it's cool that they got him back
Minecraft references mixed in with the batch, which
and
I
it's
just
been
think
so
is
long
a
since they added new
beautiful way to
paintings.
do this. There are lots more customization.
But he said in his video he was only going to mention additions and not changes. But I'll show you a couple of changes. You can now throw an ender pearl through a portal, and it'll just send you straight through. And again, it'll work going back as well. And it's same with rideable mobs. You can now ride those through. You can also technically ride minecarts through as well, which is cool. Also, when you are riding anything through or you're ender pearling through, it just instantly teleports you into survival. You can also like ender pearl through and come off the entity you're riding, which is pretty good. So yeah, transporting mobs will be easier. Loads and loads of new features. There might be little other changes I didn't mention, but we got the main ones. Great video by Toycat. Enjoyed watching that. Make sure you check out his channel. I've watched a lot of his videos and I'm subscribed to him, so you should be too. Subscribe to this channel as well. And yeah, I'm going to be making a 100 days video tomorrow on the update. And I'm going to keep making update videos as well, because it's going to be fun to try out new stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.